Alreeet everyone, Geordie Paul here. Welcome back to a brand new video on Magpie Movies. It's been a while, been a lot of stuff going on in my personal life, so I've had to take a step back of sorts from YouTube channel and I haven't really bought anything. However, last night, following a little scroll on Facebook, which I do it, well, who doesn't, I saw someone from another Facebook group, not the big Paulie one, as either Last Exit to Nowhere Facebook page or something similar, had said that they watched a film called Speak No Evil and they found it quite disturbing. So I thought, oh, so I did a little search where I could watch it and it was available on Shudder. So thanks to getting access to that via Prime, I put it on last night. So what I'm going to do is going to do a quick new video with a review of Speak No Evil. So let's get on with it.
Rock until you drop, dance until your heart stops. Rock until you drop.
So, Speak No Evil. So let's go through a quick overall synopsis, runtime, director, that kind of information in regards to it. So Speak No Evil is a 2022, this year, new horror stroke psychological film. It is a Danish film. It is directed by, and I've got it written down, a Christian Tafterup, I think, I could be wrong, and it's co-written by Christian Tafterup and his brother Mads Tafterup. The film itself is on for 1 hour and 37 minutes. So yeah, so if you want to watch this, it is on Shudder. I don't think there's any physical release that I could find of it. But yeah, so last night I sat down and watched this to see what it's like. So, what's it about? The film itself begins in Tuscany in Italy, where this Danish family, a wife, a husband and their daughter are there on a break. And there is a big meal that they all meet other kind of holidaymakers on there. And they kind of meet a Dutch couple and their son. But they have a bit of chit chat and that's it. Later on in the holiday, they're walking through Tuscany and the daughter loses her little toy rabbit. Dad goes to find it. When he comes back, the Dutch family are there speaking to this gentleman's, or the Danish gentleman's wife and daughter. They have a bit of a banter. They then go for a meal and have drinks and realise that, you know what, we've got quite a lot of things in common here, and they become good friends. That's how it ends. They then go back to Denmark. Other family go back to Holland, and that's it. They start to get on with their lives. The Danish family then later on, a couple of weeks, I believe, don't know about time scale wise, receive a letter from the Dutch family saying, hey, we know we got on so well. You're more than welcome to just come to Holland, etc. and come and stay with us. So following a discussion with his wife and their friends in Denmark, they decide, you know what, it's an 8-hour drive. Let's just go and do it. So they do. So they drive, get on a ferry and then drive to Holland. They are welcomed there with open arms. This is a spare room. You'll be sleeping here. Your daughter can sleep with our son. And it's kind of revealed somewhere, which is not a spoiler for the film, that the son was born with this disability where he can't speak because he has no tongue. So the child just can't say anything. The film itself then starts taking a turn as for such. Now the film itself is a bit of a slow burner, but although it's a slow burner, tension is built throughout that slow tension, the kind of time scale. We get to learn about the connection and the relationship between the Dutch family and the Danish family. Now there is Dutch speaking when the Dutch family speak to each other, Danish speaking, again subtitled when they speak to each other, and when they speak to each other, as in the Dutch family and the Danish family, they do speak in English. So it's got 3 different languages in there, being Dutch, being Danish and being English. Now with regards to these, I'm not a big fan of these slow burners, but the way the director does this, it makes you feel, when you're watching it, a bit uncomfortable. It is a kind of, how can I describe this? An insight into the way we as humans act with strangers, even though the strangers are a bit weird and they may be a bit, not erratic, but they don't behave normally. They could be eccentric. We still, as a nature, come across as being polite so as not to offend those individuals. And that's kind of what themes explored in this film, because when the Danish family there, everything seems going swimmingly, but things, little kind of bread trails and nuggets kind of come in, and you're thinking to yourself, or the family's thinking to yourself, oh, okay, where we're going with this. So yeah, so I don't want to go into too much detail with regards to that. The film itself, like I said, I'm not a big fan of slow burners, but it is the way it deals with it and shows you that connection between the families and builds up the acting spot on. The tension build is really good. I've never watched a film so much. No, sorry, never watched a film where it's a slow burner, but you're kind of still, things start to unravel and you become connected with the characters, and you're kind of like, oh god, what's going to happen next situation. This is not a brutal film? It kind of is. It's more psychological and looking into our human nature of being kind and courteous to those who are a bit eccentric and a bit different, but still having concerns and worries yourself and being scared of what may happen. And this film explores, as I said, it explores that. I'll be honest, I thoroughly enjoyed this film. To begin with, because it was slow, I thought I wasn't going to. But as it builds to the end, it's thoroughly enjoyable. My only downside with it is it builds up all this tension to what's going to be the crescendo at the end, with a kind of a reveal or what happens. And it's almost happens and then the film finishes. There's no kind of like explanation as to why that's happened or why things happen and what the consequences and what happens further. But I mean, overall, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'd highly recommend this if you like the film like I See You, which I recommended a couple of years ago. And, you know, a lot of foreign films I watched of late, which is like The Burning Sea and The Wave, and there's a lot of these. This isn't your stereotypical Hollywood ending kind of film. It's more of you could look into two ways, basically. You could look at it and go, it's an analysis of how we interact with strangers and being polite to them even though we're eccentric, or you could just look at it as a film that's entertained me. I don't really care about what it's talking about, and that's it. There's two ways to look at it. For me personally, I don't like all the arty-farty kind of films. This is not one of those. There's not a lot of, it's more tension than horror. It'll probably still be classed as a horror film, but it's not really graphically horror. But yeah, so that's basically Speak No Evil. I don't want to go into it too much, and like I said, it's only a short review. But yeah, if you've got Shudder or you're able to access this, and give it a watch. You know, an hour and 37 minutes in an evening, an afternoon, a morning, whenever you want to watch it. You might be pleasantly surprised by this. So yeah, so my overall rating that I would give Speak No Evil, I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10. I think that's a fair result. It's not superb, but the way the tension builds is something that, for me, was a real positive for the film. But yeah, so that's it. So that's my review of Speak No Evil. Like I said, it's a quick one. Thanks again for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And sorry again if I haven't been on YouTube for a while and people are looking forward to my videos. Well, all two people possibly. I'm trying to do more. It's just family life, work life, YouTube. They've all got one of them got to give, and unfortunately it was YouTube. But I'm not closing down the channel. I'll keep it going. Whenever there's a new video that I fancy doing, I'll do it. And I watched this film last night and I thought, you know what, I'm going to review it. So if you guys out there watching haven't seen it, then you possibly, you know what, I'll put that on my radar. I'll give it a watch. And if you have, leave in the comments below what you think of it. And if you haven't watched it, then leave a comment and tell me what you think of it. So yeah, 7.5 out of 10. If you got Shudder, are you able to access it via streaming, iTunes, Google Play, give it a watch and see how you find Speak No Evil. So that's it. This is Jody Paul saying what we do in life echoes in eternity, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Bye for now.